Well, I think that means it's time to, as I said, get into the meat of the episode.
Yes.
It's time for our first segment on this show full of segments.
Yes, that's right.
And what should that be? Do we have it on this day?
We do have it on this day. On this day! All right, on this day. This one is, 70 years ago today. Wow, that really lines up. 70 years ago, on June 5th, 1956.
Wow.
Elvis Presley introduces his new single, Hound Dog, on the Milton Berle Show, scandalizing the audience with his suggestive hip movements.
Oh, so that's when that happened.
That's right.
I always hear about that, of how scandalized people were.
Yes. You see the movie, people were just like, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah, it might as well have been devil worship.
Yes.
Black metal.
It just there was like smoke in the background. People were like, "Oh my God, Lucifer is here!"
Yes. That's how you
Elvis
summon
called
him.
the devil forward.
Yeah, that's how you summon him with sexy hip movements.
Yes. Grandma was upset because she doesn't have her original hips anymore, so she can't do that. Otherwise, she has to go back to the hospital and in a full body cast.
Yeah, that's what's so troubling about it, is like, you shouldn't be able to do that with your hips. It shouldn't be possible.
Maybe that was part of the outrage. People are just like, this isn't right. This is offensive to the old people.
Yeah.
When I had my hips, we didn't swing them like that. If we did, they bust open. Like a bunch of Lego pieces all strewn across in your body, and you collapse on the ground. That's what your hips are for.
Yeah, I could see that being really scandalizing, that's for sure.
Yes. Yeah, if you watch the movie, man, people were upset about that.
I haven't seen that, so I can only imagine the gasps. If people had pearls, they'd clutch them.
Yes. So, yeah, Elvis, I mean, what else do you think could have been the reason people were offended? Not because he was just swinging his hips, but what could that suggest? What we talked about how it could offend people with broken hips, but what else could that have mean to offend people?
Yeah.
So badly.
Like, was he in the big white uniform yet? Because that could be offensive to people's eyes. So, bright.
That was more towards the end.
Yeah,
but maybe he tested it out that night.
Yeah.
Although, of course, Milton Berle could have been like, hey, Elvis, love the design. The white suit's great, but, on black and white TV, it's just going to be gray. Well, that's not what I want. I want people to see the big white suit because I didn't get any stains on it back when I was backstage having my pizza and hot dogs. Look, kid, I don't know what to tell you. You gotta get some color TV or whatever. That ain't gonna happen for a while.
Yeah.
But Mama, she went through all the trouble of ironing it and making sure the stains were gone. I just want the world to see this beautiful craftsmanship. Save it for the 70s. You'll be fine. When people think of dead Elvis, that's what they'll be thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. That suit and his eating habits, like the end of his life really defined the way a lot of people thought of him for a long time. Same could be said for Michael Jackson. For a generation of people, he's just thought of as some creepy white guy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it really depends on what age you were, because then you'll have a different image of when you think of Michael Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. That's
like some people in the 60s, they'll think of the little kid who sang ABC.
Yeah.
Some will think of Thriller.
Yeah. Where I think a lot of people maybe our age or maybe a little younger are like Michael Jackson was kind of the butt of a joke. It was like synonymous with like kid who's or like creepy around kids. Like
yeah,
I think the kids these days it would be Diddy would be like the equivalent, like because P Diddy used to be like a cool guy. But then, like, kids now are just gonna... It's synonymous with, like, diddling kids.
And R. Kelly, too.
Yes.
But, speaking of Diddy, I'm pretty sure this was him. Just from, like, the videos I've seen of him, like, at trial. You know what was crazy? And maybe there should have been a warning, possibly from you. Watching an episode of It's Always Was Sunny in Philadelphia... where Diddy pops up.
Does that really happen? I can't remember.
Doesn't that happen? Isn't there one where they go? I swear I looked him up on Wikipedia.
I might just be not remembering, but
you trying to block it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Jinx, Charlie's mom has cancer.
Oh.
I knew I was right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was him.
You know what's uncomfortable? Watching a comedy show being like, all right, pop on an episode. It's my Philadelphia Wednesday or whatever. I'll do It's Always Sunny and Abbott Elementary. Pop on an episode.
Yeah.
Here's P. Diddy, and what's he talking about? Bill Cosby. Very uncomfortable scene.
Yeah, that must
be like, am I really seeing this right now?
Interesting. That's fun because my memory serves that I've only seen that episode once, which means that I skip it. Maybe something in the back of my head was like, "You got to skip this one, man. You can't have your memory refreshed about this."
Your spider sense was tingling.
Yeah. I don't even remember it being a bad episode. I just kind of, yeah. I totally remember Dr. Jinx now.
Oh yes, played by Mr. Sean Combs, or does it say his inmate number? Is that public information, your inmate number?
It would be cool. I would love to know the number, but I don't know.
Right now he is at Federal Correction Institution at Fort Dix. Wow, okay. That perfect name for
interesting. Yeah,
Fort Dix. DIX. We should say.
Yes, of course. But I mean, the lesson in all of this is, people always talk about first impressions are important, but I actually think last impressions are more important.
That's true. I mean, look, you can have your nice grandpa or whatever, and you go through life thinking you're pals, but if on his deathbed he says, "You know what? I wish your parents hadn't adopted you," that would just taint the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then you leave with more questions than answers, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to make sure to be nice and for anyone who's on their deathbed currently. You got to make sure you are good and nice, good and sort of docile, and like you need to be sort of like distantly, introspectively making like statements about like you need to kind of do something like, "Now remember, kids, the meaning of life is that you felt a little bit of joy, dear." Like you need to say like deep stuff like that, so people will remember you as like a wise, cool guy.
Remember, kids, make sure that once you get to the destination, the journey was worth it.
Yeah.
We all end up in the same destination.
Yeah. Remember, living life's about the friends you make along the way.
Yes.
Grandpa, you keep saying sort of wise statements, but all of them are kind of generic.
Where are you getting these statements? I found them in this book. I wish I could be as wise as this man right here, but alas, God didn't give me the brightest brain up there. So the last thing I'm going to do, I never stole in my life. Never stole a candy bar or a car. But I'm going to steal these sayings and use them as my own. And I expect every one of you to say that I came up with them myself. Oh, okay, Grandpa, if that's what you really want.
Whatever you say.
Because if you don't, I'm going to haunt you, and I'm not going to be a friendly ghost like Casper.
Yeah.
Yeah, friendly ghost like Casper, that only happens when you die in childhood. But when you get to be old and bitter, you're the kind of ghost that gives curses and ruins people's lives.
Yeah, so if you don't give this to me, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to curse you.
Yes, and you know what? I will find a demon to possess your daddy. That's right.
Because I know I'm going down there, so I know I'm going to meet some demons.
Yeah. You think Daddy's a mean drunk right now? Ho, ho, ho! You've never seen him when he's possessed by John Wilkes Booth or Jeffrey Dahmer. But Grandpa, where's this coming from? Hey, look, kid, I maybe got 12 hours left, and I'm really, really gonna use them.
Yeah. I'm currently, I'm using my, what, I forget what the phrase is called, dang it, but it's a lot of people will get really, like, active and more alert on, like, hours before they die. It's like a thing observed in hospice and stuff. But, I only got a few hours left, and I'm gonna use it to read out these sayings to you, and you're gonna tell future generations that I was actually really wise and smart.
Grandpa, do we change a few of a little bit of the wording to make it so it's not fully plagiarized? Stop asking stupid questions like that and write down exactly what I say when I read it from this book. Okay, Grandpa, okay.
Yeah. Would love to know what book that could possibly be that just says wise sayings. Because
Just
I
a
could
book
use
of
it.
wise sayings?
Yeah. 1,001 wise sayings.
Yeah. It's one of, like you find it in a library, and it's like a self-made book that some guy, like, just got, like, a spiral rim notebook and just cut things out of other books and glued it in there.
Yeah.
It almost looked like it was made by a serial killer, but it was a guy trying to create something that he thought would be great.
Yeah. Ironically, you'd probably be remembered as a plagiarist.
Yes.
So yeah, because those final, the final introduction, the final thing you are is going to be what you're remembered for.
Just like Shia LaBeouf when he plagiarized that one play or whatever. When Grandpa's in the casket, he'll have to wear a paper bag over his head. Instead of saying, I'm no longer famous, it's I'm no longer alive.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And people will be like, can we just see Grandpa's face one last time? I don't know. He was so full of hate at the end. He has such a scowl. I think it might scare the children.
Yeah. Shia LaBeouf's another person who, like, if you grew up and you just remembered his cute little Even Stevens, you might not really have grown to think of him as what he is now, which is not all there.
Yes. I think, didn't he get kicked out of Cats or some play? Not that he was starring in that. He literally was an audience member and got kicked out.
Yeah, I think so. But, yeah.
Oh, yes. So, yes, guys, if there's one lesson we can take from that, it's, make sure to leave them wanting more. Don't totally burn that bridge, because when the time comes, when that little sensor thing that monitors your heartbeat goes beep, you want them to defibrillate you, or use that needle with whatever it is that brings people back for a little bit.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, and maybe this is something I should put in a will, if I'm on my deathbed and I die, I would like to try that needle. Just, like, see if it actually works and can bring me back for a little bit. It's like,
yeah, you might as
well.
well.
Or something, they pump it right here and can bring you back. I hope that's not a myth.
Well, I actually don't know which, because there are a lot of things that could be, but I'm actually not familiar with the. Because I mean, you've got like
Doc, try them all.
There's like epinephrine. There's that's probably what you're thinking. Epinephrine, like people when they give someone who's having like an allergic reaction, it's like I think it's sort of like a steroid. But I mean, there's also like Narcan, but that's for overdoses.
I think this was one, and maybe it's from a fictional TV show. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was like if you die, like your heart stops. But it was in Grand Theft Auto too. The guy's heart stops. Again, my medical advice is coming from Grand Theft Auto. So.
Yeah.
But like the guy's heart stops, and you inject him with something right by the heart, and it brings him back.
Yeah.
I'd just like to try it to see if it really works.
I mean, they'll stab you with something.
Yeah,
for sure.
And look, if it doesn't work, I'll never know, right? It's just a fantasy. Like my last few moments on this earth will be me thinking, all right, let's see if that works.
Yeah, I'll be back any minute now.
Be right back, guys.
Yeah, that'd actually be a nice way to go. In total denial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, all right, see you in a few minutes. Hey, Doc, get that needle ready.
Yeah.
By the way, is it going to hurt? Is it going to hurt? Those are your last words. Is it going to hurt? I'm so excited.
No, it's going to feel great. Now close your eyes.
It's going to be the best. It's going to be like your birthday all over again. Great, Doc. I'm hyped. And that's how you end it. That'd be a pretty good way to go.
Yeah, it really would.
Although, if you come back, you might be thinking, hey, Doc, why isn't this arm moving? What's going on? And then those few seconds, that was the last.
Yep.
But you still have your first death. That's still the one.
You never forget your first death.
It's almost like those shows that have their series finale. That's what you remember. And then there's that revival that you try to block out.
Yeah.